Well, hello there, folks. DJ Burgstarre here, back with another tip of the day. So, today I want to talk about the drum bus. Now, the drum bus is found in your audio effects under drum bus, and you'll notice in here as well that there's a lot of presets to choose from, and you sort of can mess with those and try them out to get a feel for what the drum bus is actually doing. However, I've just put on one and modified this myself. And let's just talk about the drum bus overall. So putting on a drum bus to me means you're taking all these drums you may have pulled in from who knows where. You might have some that are loops, just a sample. You might be using an instrument, and you might be using just one shots in a simpler. And so when you throw all these together coming from all different places, they can kind of sound like they're coming from all different places. So what I like about the drum bus is that it's sort of taking all those drums and putting them in one place and sort of making them sound like they're sort of cohesive and fit together. And let's talk about some of the controls here on the drum bus. First, let's play what I have going so you can sort of see what we're going to be listening to. This is without the drum bus. That's with the drum bus. Turn it down maybe a little bit. Let's get rid of the music so we can really hear what this drum bus is doing. Alright, so let's look at some of the controls here then. So the first part of the drum bus is this slot here is basically a compressor limiter, and you can really increase the drive and make it sort of hard, or softer on your compressor limiter here. And I've pulled the trim down just a bit because this does add a lot of power. And the second section here is sort of working with the frequencies of all of your drums, and you can damp those, and then this transients is really important. So all those little things, when somebody hits a snare drum, for instance, the drum head and some of the transients that are going to come out of that, and some of the kind of nuances of all those drums, you can sort of enhance those or sort of pull them back so the drums are much tighter. So I would almost say this is kind of loose and tight. And let's play with this knob. You'll hear what I mean. See, I can hear all these transients now from every little hit. If I pull this back, it's not really removing the high end and stuff, it's just tightening everything up. And I sort of leave this damp sort of all the way up. I don't want to be cutting out frequencies and make it so I can't hear those nice hi-hats and things. So I just sort of leave this up. I'm not trying to cut anything out. Where I would do that would be more in the transients here. Okay, the crunch kind of makes it sound, like it says, a little more crunchy and a little more clean, depending on pulling that up or down. And the third section here is working with sort of the low end of your drums, and this is important for a really good reason, not just because it can kind of really give it a bit of a boom, especially if you're working with an 808 or you have a kick drum, you want it to sound a little more boomy, but this frequency is important because it's almost like tuning your drums. And as you know, tuning your drums is important to stay in tune with the rest of your track. And so as you move this, look down here, it says C0. This track is in C minor. So I want to keep my drums in the key of C. Now, this isn't exactly going to do that, but this boom will sort of stay in the C frequency, and that way it's more cohesive and more in key with your entire track. So this frequency isn't really just to play with. What you really want to do is say, okay, I'm in the key of C, so I'm going to pull this down. You'll see now down here, you see the notes actually changing. It tells you what note. And so I want to hit that on a C, and there you go. So now I know that this boom is really going to be booming and letting that boom be a C, the actual note. And that can keep it in the right key of your song. And so that's sort of important too. So the drum bus is sort of like, what does it mean to you? How are you going to use it? Because there's so many different ways. You could be putting this on your master chain for reasons. You could put it on just one of your, samples here, like just one loop or something. But it's kind of customizable to what you want to use it for. So what I did is tuned it to the key of C, so this boom would be a bit in the same key of my song. I wanted to keep all the highs and maybe enhance the transients just a little bit. And I've got a kind of a soft limiter compressor here going. So let's play it. Let's play without it. There it's on again. Now this sounds kind of okay the way it is. I've done a fairly good mix with these items in my drums, but when I put this on, like I said, it's going to tune this boom a bit to my key of C and enhance these transients just a little, and it's giving me a little bit of compression over here. So to me, that's how I'm using it. And if I add any more drums as I'm working on this track, I'll go ahead and send it over to the drum bus so it all is one cohesive drums. And so as you can see, I've grouped them so I can just sort of add as much of this drum bus or not to all the drums if I want. So that's how I'm using the drum bus. You can use it the way you want, but it's a very good tool to sort of pull your track together and make it all fit. All right. Okay, well, that's my tip of the day. Thanks for watching again. Hope to see you guys on the next one. DJ Burgstarre out.